Hello everybody, it's Numerologist Michelle Buchanan with your numerology forecast for April 2021. Can you believe we're already a quarter of a way through the year? Wow, that's crazy! Just before I begin with your April forecast, I want to tell you about this month's special offer. So I am currently running for the month of April my 30-minute readings that are directly with me personally, and they're for people all over the world. We can do it through FaceTime, Skype, WhatsApp, whatever you're into. They are normally $150. They are only $100 for the month of April. And we can talk about anything you want. I can do your chart. I can do forecasting for you. I can calculate relationship issues or relationship compatibility. I can even do oracle card readings. Whatever you're into, that 30 minutes can be used for yourself or someone else anytime you want. But it's only running, that deal is only running for the month of April, but you can purchase one in April and use it in the future, okay? It can also be used as a gift voucher. So now that we've got that out the way, let's get down to business with your April forecast, okay? So what we're going to do is we're first of all going to calculate your personal year number for the year. We do this by adding the month and day of your birth date to number 5. Why number 5? Because 2021 adds up to 5. So once again, we're going to add the month and day of your birth date to number 5. And we're going to keep adding those numbers together until we're going to might end up with a double digit. That's fine, because we're going to keep adding any double digit numbers together until we get a single number between 1 and 9. So let me use an example. Birth date, March 28th. We would add 3 plus 2 plus 8 to number 5. Now remember, we could end up with a double digit number, and that adds up to 18. So rule of thumb, add together any double digit numbers and keep doing that until you get a single number between 1 and 9. We would add the 1 and the 8. 1 plus 8 equals 9. Therefore, the personal year number for the birthday, March 28th, is a 9. One more time, add the month and day of your birthday to number 5. If you end up with a double digit number, keep adding those double digits together until you get a single number between 1 and 9, and that single number is your personal year number for the whole year. All right? Right, let's get started then with the forecast for personal year number 1. You guys are in a year of new beginnings. All right, now it's more obvious around from your birthday on, but for the whole year, from January to December, it is a time of opportunity. We're out with the old to make way for the new. Some people will have a very obvious new beginning one personal year, where there'll be new opportunities for new jobs or new relationships, big things. Other people, it's not so obvious and it's not so big and grand. They'll have the same job, the same home, the same relationships, but maybe something minor changes or something from within, like a whole new way of seeing life and viewing the world. Someone might have a new beginning where they take up a new diet. They go vegetarian, for example. Everybody's different. But one thing's for certain, it is a year that is saying green light, go, green light, all speed, guns blazing, go, all guns blazing, green light, go ahead. So this is a time where if there are something new that you need to bring into your life, if there's a change that needs to be made, now is the time to make it. This is the time where you want to take action, especially in the month of April, because in the month of April, you're in a 5 month. How do we get that? We add the month of April, which is a 4, to your 1 year. Therefore, you're in a 5 month for April. Now, the 5 month is all about change. Progress, movement, and change, and we're in a year of new beginnings, so it's definitely going to be an active month. This is a month to make any changes that need to be made. It's a month to be proactive. It's a month to be flexible and adaptable, because things can come from left field that you didn't see coming. And so if you understand that, hey, anything can happen, and it usually does in this combination of numbers, you can roll with the punches. You can be aware when something comes from left field. So because anything can happen, and it usually does, and unexpected things can happen, try not to have too much on your plate in the first place. So So you know that you don't say yes to everything that comes your way if you don't really need to or want to do something. Make sure you have that sort of space. Should something unexpected arise, you're able to fit it into your daily life or your daily routine without, going a bit nutty over it, without being a bit too stressed out. This is also a great time to take a vacation. Oh, and it's Easter this month too, so that's handy. It's a good time to network, to be social, to make connections. It's a great time to promote yourself, to move if you need to move house or make big changes with jobs and things. It's a time to be fun and adventurous, okay? It's a time to do things you might not normally do and be a bit more daring, a bit more fun, a bit more adventurous, all right? So I'll leave that with you, and I wish you a fantastic month. Personal year number 2. You guys are in a time where, the emotional things that are brewing beneath the surface might rise to be resolved. So for some people in the 2 year and throughout the year, and this becomes a lot more obvious from the birthday on or around the time of the birthday on, other people it's obvious right from January 1st. It's where whatever you've got going on emotionally, whether it's current or from the past, might rise to be reviewed at some stage throughout the year. So it's really basically giving your humanness or your body or your human system a chance to detox any repressed emotions or any emotional things that are still sort of lingering that haven't been dealt with yet. And so therefore, sometimes situations can happen that will trigger emotions so that you can be aware that they exist and you can have the experience of navigating your way around those emotions, so you can learn from them, so you can grow from them. Emotions are not a bad thing, and it's not always negative emotions. Sometimes it's positive emotions. Sometimes it's excitement. It's learning about love and connection and connecting with people on an emotional level and reaching higher levels of emotional openness and bonding. Other people, it's have a situation happen and you overreact emotionally, or you feel quite intense emotion and you're like, God, that's pretty full on. And sometimes that's because it's not just the emotion that you're experiencing from that one, encounter. It's actually emotion that's been building up of a similar sort of similar thread that's you've carried around in your humanness, in your body, in your energy, emotional, and your emotional field your whole life, or for many years since those experiences originally occurred many years ago, but you've repressed them and they've been kept within you. And the 2 year is an opportunity to purge and to release and understand some of those kinds of feelings and experiences and thoughts. So that's the bottom line of the 2 year. Also about bonding and getting closer to people and getting more aware of your own self-care and what you need for yourself. Well, the month of April is a 6 month for you, and that's because April is a number 4, and we add that 4 to the year that you're in, which is a 2, which is where we get the 6th personal month from. And that is about you focusing on the relationships around you and the relationships in your life. Now, this may mean for some people that relationship issues that have been brewing beneath the surface are going to be addressed. They're going to rise up and you can't avoid looking at them this month. So a great time to iron things out. Other people, it means, be there for those who need you more. You might be a shoulder to cry on. You might be required to spend time helping out family. Your children, if you've got children, might need you more than they normally do. Or family situations occur, or even things to do with the home and domestic responsibilities. So the 6 this month is a time that is about home, relationships, children, gardening, animals, and also self-care. So I want you to look at your own self-care and sort of where things are at for you with monitoring your needs and what's going to keep you balanced and healthy, and also especially your emotional needs and ironing out your emotional, things you've got going on that need to be worked through. Definitely want to be there for other people. Sometimes it's a bit of a pain in the neck when you're on your own path and doing your own thing and got your own life going in a certain direction, and then all of a sudden the brakes are on or there's a detour because someone else needs you to change your plans to accommodate them. And this number, this time, this combination of numbers that you're in this month is saying, do that. You've got to do the right thing. You've got to be a good person and do the right thing. And wherever you're at you're where you're meant to be. So whatever happens was meant to happen, and this is where you're meant to be right now. So you'd be thinking logically, oh, well, this isn't where I'm meant to be. I'm meant to be over there because that's where my life was going before this thing came along. But it's like, no, nothing happens that wasn't meant to happen. Where you are right now and what you're doing right now is what you're meant to be doing. So the detour is part of the plan. So you need to adjust accordingly and accept that and do the right thing, and things will work themselves out. So I'll leave that with you, and I hope you have a fantastic month. Let's move on now to personal year number 3. All right, so this is a great year for you guys to speak your truth, to have those conversations, to say what you really think and feel. It's also a year to get clear about what you really think and feel in the first place. You know, ask yourself, where am I going? What do I want? What's important for me? Am I expressing that? Am I living that? Am I communicating that? Am I being that? Am I doing that? Also, it's a year where you want to get clear about what makes you happy, by first of all getting clear about what's making you unhappy, what's causing stress in your life, what do you worry about, what are your fears? Understand them. Figure out that they're not really real. Figure out if they really are, and changes need to be made to avoid them or to heal them. You know, that's the first step. And doing things deliberately to make yourself feel good, because that's actually raising your energy vibration. And we live in a physical world, but it's actually an energetic physical world. And there is a lot more importance to what was going on energetically, because the energetic manifests in the physical. So it's all connected, and your emotions play a really big part, and your thoughts and emotions and how you see yourself and how you see others and how you see the world. And so for the month of April, it's about going deeper. Going deeper. You're in a 7-month for April, and how we get that 7-month is we add the month of April, which is 4, to your personal year 3, which is a 7-month. April is a 7-month and 3 year. And the 7 is saying, mind, body, spirit. Get deeper, contemplation, analyzing your personal growth, self-improvement, monitoring your behavior, your thoughts, your beliefs. Where do they come from? Are they real? Are they serving you? Are they adding joy in your life, or are they making you miserable? You know, go deep. Spend time alone. Get away from devices. Have some balance in your life. Don't be so distracted. Don't be so surrounding yourself with people and activity. Go quiet, go deep, spend some time alone, go for a walk in a park if you can, get near the beach, get near water, get near nature, so that you can ground yourself, so that you can get clear and in the quiet. It's in the quiet and in the solitude that we can hear the voice of our soul. And that's what 7 is really about. It's about an opportunity for you to connect with your soul, as opposed from the ego human mind that tends to be the engine that's running the show in most people's lives on the planet right now. Most people are living from the ego human mind, but we need to get in touch with the soul. We need to get in touch with source energy. We need to remember we are a spiritual being. We're a spiritual being having it. We're not a what is that saying? You're a spiritual being having a human experience, you know? And that's what it's all about. It's about remembering that and knowing your thoughts are alive and getting aware of universal laws and understanding we work holistically. You know, we're a holistic system where our thoughts and our emotions affect our physical body and our health, and what we believe we attract, all that sort of thing. This is a month for you to get clear about all of that. Spend some quiet time alone if you can. Great month to do something woo-woo, whether it's an online spiritual workshop, or take up meditation, or get into yoga, or be aware of conscious breathing and tapping, EFT, anything holistic, anything mind, body, spirit, anything spiritual and woo-woo. Great time for all of that. On more of a practical level, it is a time for some R&R, to take time out to look at self-care in your health. Great time to study, and great time to read and learn. I'll leave that with you, and let's move on now to personal year number 4. You guys, this is a year of building, all right? Slow and steady wins the race. You might feel at times that you want to go running, you want to go boom out there and take on the world and go for run into life, but you've got this 4 energy that's very slow and heavy and dense, and it'll feel like you're wearing concrete boots. You've got the energy and the mindset to want to move, but life kind of isn't moving at that same pace alongside you. Now, that's not always going to be the case, because you're going to be in a different month energy or a different month vibration or a different vibe each month. So it's going to feel differently each month. And some of those monthly vibes you will be in will be upbeat and action-packed, and things are happening and they're a lot quicker and faster. But overall, you need to understand the nature of the 4-year is slow and steady wins the race. Build your foundation underneath you. Put the effort in to cross your T's and dot your I's. Things may not land in your lap. There'll be obstacles, delays, setbacks, and you're basically, the gist of this year, the main reason of this year is to teach you fortitude, tolerance, patience, persistence, all of those key foundational personality traits that are going to set you up so that you can overcome anything that comes your way. It's building that foundation underneath and within you, as well as around you in the physical world. So on more of a practical physical level, it can be, working on your savings, getting your house renovated, getting the right job, and getting your health organized, on a more of a practical level. But energetically and in terms of life lessons, it's about teaching you persistence pays off. When the going gets tough, the tough get going, so that you learn that discipline. Now, for the month of April, April is an 8-month for you, and that's because April itself is a number 4. We add that April number 4 to your personal year number 4, which is a 4, and that adds up to 8. So that's why April is an 8-month for you in a 4-year. What does that mean? It means pay attention to your finances. Don't overspend. Don't overcommit yourself financially. Get your finances in order. Cross your T's, dot your I's. Be honest, especially in business dealings. It's a very karmic number 8. It means that you get what you sow, what you reap. You attract what you put your attention on. What you believe to be will be. So you've got to be honest. You've got to be a good person. You've got to monitor your money. You've got to be positive in the way you see the world. You've got to have, believe that things will work out. You've got to have faith in life, have faith in yourself, because you're attracting whatever you believe, and whatever you're projecting out, you're attracting it back. And the 8 is amplifying that magnetic energy. It's also a number that's going to bring up for you issues relating to your own self-esteem and your own personal power. So it's about you learning to not allow yourself to be disempowered by something outside of you, such as a fear, such as another person, such as a situation. You are learning to hold your own and to stay empowered, to not lose your shit, to not, as Carolyn Mace would say, to not hemorrhage valuable life force energy. You're learning to hold your power. You're learning to maintain an equilibrium, stay in balance, to be in alignment, no matter what ups and downs come your way. So it's a very powerful combination of numbers. And if you can learn to hold your center, to remain in alignment, no matter what life sends you, boom, that's huge. That if you can have one thing, that could be pretty much be one of the big one things that will help you out in life. If you can learn to master holding your, staying in alignment, holding your balance, maintaining equilibrium, and fortitude, no matter what situations life deals you, no matter what hand you're dealt, no matter what crazy things happen, this is your winning ticket. This is your winning hand. If you can do that, you can master life. So anyway, don't overspend. Work and career issues might come up for people that are looking to change jobs or looking to focus on their career. And it can also, this combination of numbers can mean an actual busier time. For some people that are looking, they might be a bit more busier with life and with work. So I'll leave that with you, and I'll move on now to personal year number 5. You guys are in a year of change. So the 5-year is right in the middle of the 1 year is new beginnings. The 9-year is the last year in a cycle of 9 years, which is endings and completion. Well, the 5-year is smack bang right in the middle of those. And so it's saying, let's change the playing field. Let's shake things up. Now, you will always be, you people that are in a 5-year, you guys will always be in alignment with the universal year number or the world year number, which is the year itself. So 2021 is called the universal year number, and that adds up to 5, and that influences everybody, and you will always be in alignment with that. No matter what year it is, you'll always have the same personal year number as the universal year number, which means you get a double dose of whatever the universal year number energy is, which in this case is a 5. So that is progress, movement, and change. Expect the unexpected, things coming from left field. It also means you learning to roll with the punches and being adaptable and flexible, but it also means to do and try new things that you might not have thought of. This is a very dynamic energy where, you'd be surprised at some of the outcomes you might have, positive outcomes, if you step outside your comfort zone. And then on the other hand, it's saying, don't go rogue, don't do anything stupid, don't take any take a calculated risk. Don't take a crazy stab in the dark that could end up having really bad consequences. Be responsible about it, but responsible and courageous and daring and exciting at the same time and adventurous at the same time, but responsible in it, So it's a vibration that's fast moving, and all kinds of things can happen and things you didn't see coming, but that can be really good as well. And for the month of April, you're in a 9 month, and that is because April itself is number 4. And we add that number 4 to your personal year number 5, and that is 9. So that's why you're in a 9 month in April. Now that 9 is about endings, completion, and transformation. So if you're in a year of change and you're in a month of 9, what does that say? So it says it's highly likely something could, out with the old to make way for the new. So take a look at your life. What do you know you need to kick to the curb or change in order for you to be happier, or things to work out more, or things that not even change, or even changes that need to be made that won't necessarily make you happier, but you just know the change needs to be made? This is the time where it could happen. It could happen to you, or you can be in the driver's seat and make it happen for you. Either way, it is a combination of numbers where it's out with the old to make way for the new, but as a result, even though it might not feel that way at the time, eventually, as a result, it's going to be a really good thing. It's just all about transformation and progress, and turning a new leaf and developing into a new person, or developing or experiencing new experiences. That's all it is. It's a new life experience, a new opportunity. So it's a very dynamic combination of numbers. So I wish you a fantastic month, and I'll move on now to personal year number 6. All right, so you guys in the 6th year, that is a year where there is a strong focus on, first of all, your own self-care, your own health, and looking at your relationship with yourself and how you treat yourself. Are you holding, maintaining balance? Are you making sure that your own self-care needs are met so that you can be healthy and in balance and in alignment? And then there is also the other side of the 6th year, which is being of service to other people, being there when you're needed. And this could be to anything from work colleagues to clients at work, to neighbors, to family, to children, to friends. It's about, and the community, especially those that work in a service-based career or involved in things where they are, their time and attention and assistance is required. So there can be an increase in things there. It's also a year where relationship issues that are brewing beneath the surface can rise to be resolved. So there is a strong focus on the relationships in your life, not just romantic relationships. It can be with siblings and children and the in-laws, or relationships across the board with people in general. Also the home, a year where it's a good time to focus on the home and, gardens and animals and domestic stuff, But for the month of April, you are in a 1 month. And how we get that is because April itself is a number 4. And we add that 4 to your 6th year, which is 10. So then we make that 10 a 1. So you're in a 1 month for April, which is about new beginnings. Yay, new beginnings, new opportunities, fresh start. A whole, there's a vibe of energy that is saying green light, full steam ahead. So if there's some changes you want to make or some new opportunities you want to take on, now is the time to do it. Fresh start, clean slate. You might feel more energized. You might feel a breath of fresh air. It's definitely a time, if anything, at the very least, to have a new mindset and a new perception in how you see yourself, others, the world, and especially how you see the relationships in your life. Maybe it is a month where a lot of people are going to have a breakthrough, some aha moments of seeing an ongoing problem or situation from a whole different perspective. And in that shift of perspective, all the dynamics change, and an improvement can be had from that simple shift in perception. You might even decide, I'm going to leave that grudge I've got. I'm going to leave the moaning and complaining about that thing that happened in the past. I'm going to leave the past in the past and just move forward in this clean slate. So it's a great vibration or combination of numbers for you to do that. And I suggest you do, because it will only be for your benefit. All right, let's go on now to personal year number 7. And you guys, this year is, life is life. It's going along. You're doing what you do as you normally do. But the 7 year is saying, alongside all the normalness, let's go deeper. Let's go broader. Let's take a look and expand how you see the world. Let's look at the truth of what's really going on. Let's look at the truth of what you can't see with the human eyes. Let's look at what's not so obvious in the physical world. Let's go deep. Let's understand the universal laws. Let's understand the truth of how the human body functions, for example, that it's holistic, that our thoughts attract, that our thoughts are energetic, that our emotions and our thoughts influence our physical health, that we're all connected, that we're energetic beings, we're spiritual beings having a human experience, that we came here to learn and grow. We didn't come here to be the perfect person. To learn gratitude, to understand that there's a universal life force energy. There's a higher power that can assist us in our life, and we can only get so far on our own in our own humanness. With a human ego brain and mind will only get you so far as you get through life and you're trying to overcome the ups and downs. There's a higher power that is everything, that is all that is, that can assist us, that on our own as a human, we can probably only get through something effectively 60%. With that higher power on board, we can tackle it 100%. And we can overcome our issues. We can be on track quicker, easier, and more effectively when we understand and incorporate that higher power in our life. It needs to be a priority. It needs to be understood that it exists, and it needs to be embraced. And that can be done in many ways. It can be done through just simply acknowledging the divine, the universe, God, or a religion, whatever you're into. Everyone's got their own unique thing, but there's something outside of us that can assist us. And this 7 year is giving you an opportunity to expand on that, or to adopt that. If that's foreign to you and it's just not your thing, this is a year where you might find that you're pushed towards that. Life circumstances may happen for you that you can't help but be connected to something like that. Other people, it's more of a personal development year where they're just working on their stuff. Other people, it's like, oh my God, I became a bit spiritual that year. I got a crystal and I read a book about the law of attraction, or I got started doing a crystal healing workshop, or I got a numerology reading. I have more people book numerology readings in a 7 year than any other year. So, it's about discovery, it's about spirituality. On a more practical, mainstream level, it's a great year for studying and learning, and reading and developing wisdom and knowledge. But how do we expand on that relationship with the divine? Through understanding it exists, giving it your time and attention, just like you would a normal relationship. Prayer is not sitting down on bended knees in a Catholic church doing the Hail Marys. It is for that thing, if that's your thing and you're Catholic or in a religious connotation, it is, but it doesn't have to be that, and it's not just that. Prayer is basically a conversation. It's communication with whatever you believe is a higher power. Prayer can be just sitting there putting your makeup on in the mirror, and while you're doing that, you're going, universe, God, angels, guides, whatever you want to call it, divine energy, or all that is, or source energy. I'm going through a rough time right now. I need you to help me to have faith that everything's going to work out. Please play more of a presence in my life. I want to incorporate you in my life more. I want us to have a relationship. Please help me to have the confidence in myself that I can get through this. Please give me faith that everything will work out. Please give me the patience I need and the tolerance I need to get through what I'm going through, because it's driving me nuts. Please help me to be happy again. I used to be so happy. Now I'm miserable. Or please help me to have hope that there's someone out there for me. I feel like I'm never going to find someone that loves me. Or please help me to be tolerant with my teenage child. They're driving me nuts. You can use that prayer and that relationship for anything, guys. And this really is the golden nugget of everything. And the 7 year is the perfect time to be aware of that, especially this month of April, because in April this month, you're in an 11-2 month. And that is because April is a number 4. And we add that 4 for April to the year you're in, which is 7. 7 plus 4 is 11. That means the month of April for you is an 11-2 month. And that is an ability, an opportunity to reach a higher level of awareness, to get away from the lower ego human mind way of looking at life and yourself and the world and go into that higher perspective. It's also could be emotional for some people. That does bring the presence of some sort of emotional awakening or some sort of activation of emotions, whether they're repressed or whether something happens that causes you to feel emotional. And it's in that emotion that triggers or that activates a desire to want to know why. Why did this happen to me? Why is life like this? What's going on? Why does this always happen to me? And then that trigger, that emotion will then trigger that domino effect. It'll activate that domino effect that leads you to the discovery of information and wisdom that will help you to improve your quality of life and to achieve your dreams, and to understand that there are universal laws that you can use to your advantage, to whether you need it to just help yourself get through a challenging time, or you need those universal laws such as the law of attraction and manifestation to help you attract an opportunity that you're trying to get off the ground, or a new relationship or a job or abundance, whatever it is. There's universal laws that can assist you. You can't always do things on your own. And this is a great combination of numbers that can help catapult you to that way of living and being. So I suggest you use that to your advantage and go down that track. All right, let's move on now to personal year number 8. You guys are in a year where you discovering your personal power is the utmost importance. It's about you learning to not become disempowered or out of balance or lose your footing or your confidence due to something outside of yourself, whether that something out of yourself is a situation, a life experience that shakes you, that causes you to feel disempowered, whether that something outside of yourself is a person that is causing you to feel disempowered, whether that's something outside of yourself, the limiting belief, an addiction, or a fear of something happening, or a worry or an anxiety, or something that happened in the past, an event. Whatever it is, this year is about you learning to not let that disempower you, and for you to maintain your equilibrium, for you to maintain your balance and stay in alignment as a human being regardless. And that's number one, what's going on subtly behind the scenes in your life. So if you can understand that and see it play out, you'll do yourself a huge favor by the end of the year by understanding that, and then using that to your advantage and capitalizing on the mighty law of attraction, universal law that is at play in a big way whenever there's a number 8, when there's a number 8 involved and you're in an 8 year. So you are in a very powerful manifestation vibe right now, where you are manifesting, you're amplified than you normally would be with your thoughts and your beliefs. So you really want to pay attention to what you think and believe and what you're projecting out in the world, because you are attracting more of it. All right, you're very magnetic right now. So make sure that if we attract what we think about, make sure you're thinking about what you want and what's right and what's good, and you're being grateful rather than the opposite of that, because you're only going to attract more of it. Now, for the month of April, it's a 3 month for you, and that is because April is a number 4. You add that number 4 for April to the year you're in, which is 8. 8 plus 4 is 12, and 1 plus 2 is 3. So you're in a 3 month for the year, for the 8 year. You're in a 3 month for April. And that's where you want to have your say. You want to express yourself. You want to have a look at yourself and your life and ask yourself, am I expressing who I really am? Am I living how I want to live? Am I being who I want to be? Am I saying what I really think and feel? Am I saying what I want? Am I saying my truth? Am I speaking my truth? So it's a great month to have conversations to set things straight. It's a great time to do something where you're expressing yourself. Whether it just means you haven't been out in ages and you decide to get dressed and go out and express yourself, be heard, be seen, be alive. Great month for anything creative, a great month for being more social, a great month for doing anything like anything creative, writing, cooking, going to a dance class, exercising, taking exercise back up if you've been a bit slack. Great month to have fun, all right? Have fun, laugh, do things that make you feel good, and get things off your chest. All right, I'll leave that with you, and I'll move on now to personal year number 9. So you guys are in a year of out with the old to make way for the new, and it's going to be a lot more apparent around your birthday or from your birthday on, but it's still there from January 1st to December 31st across the board regardless. And this is a year where you basically are looking back on your whole life and making sense of everything. Take time this year to contemplate and think about your life. Your whole life, especially the last 9 years, and where you've come and what you've gone through and what you learned from it, and how things have changed, and some of the benefits that have actually resulted in some of the challenges you might have gone through. And this is a year where you really want to, at the end of the year, you should be saying, wow, I know I killed it. You know, I come so far. I'm so wise, much wiser now. Man, I went through some challenges, but I know that I can overcome them. And I know that when something goes up, it comes down. And when something goes down, it goes back up. And life is always changing and moving. And, you know, this too shall pass. And that means that, you know, not only when something good happens, that I know that, you know, I've got challenges to work through, because every human being, we all came here to work through challenges in life. We didn't come here for an easy ride. We came here to learn and grow, and we tend to learn and grow mostly when we're challenged. So it's normal and it's okay that life doesn't always go the way we hoped or planned. That's normal. It's a matter of shifting your perception so that you can understand that and embrace the challenges that come, rather than let them disempower you and become a victim and get all toxic and septic over it. You know, yep, life is hard and some things are freaking out of this world crazy, and you're not expected to accept it and embrace it and be okay with it overnight, but it is a work in progress. And you know, the 9 years is about learning to become and develop into a wise old soul that looks back and goes, I can see why that happened now. I can see why it had to happen. I can see what I've learnt, and I'm going to take that newfound wisdom moving forward, especially from next year onwards, and I'm going to really make something of myself, and I'm going to be happier because I'm going to take on board what I've learned and what I've been through, and I'm going to use it to my advantage, and I'm not going to be a victim from it. And so, yeah, it's that wise old soul vibe that we're heading towards. Now, because of that, don't get me wrong, there can be some challenges. I'm in a 9 year myself, so I'm sitting here going, ooh, I wonder what life's going to send me. But I am prepared that, you know, out with the old to make way for the new. Some people's 9 years are really obvious. And my last 9 year, which was 9 years ago, I was made redundant from Women's Day magazine. Changed and went from New Zealand columnists and writers from their own New Zealand to Australia for the spiritual one column. So I got made redundant, and they used the Australian Women's Day column for the New Zealand one to save money. So I got made redundant there. Good Morning breakfast show that I was on, they went from a 3-hour show to a 1-hour show, and so I, along with several others, our segments were made redundant. And so those are two big, massive things in my life with my work, and they both happened in my 9 year. So that was full on and crazy. But, you know, I adjusted and I made new changes, and I believe that everything works out the way it's meant to, and it did. And I got money and made a living in other ways because everything changes and new opportunities can come. So I guess that my point of trying to tell you this is, I don't know what's going to happen. We don't know 100% what's around the corner, but there's a reason for things. And when things end, it's okay. It's only because it gives us an opportunity to create something else as a result from that, because we are continuously evolving. We are continuously growing, and part of that evolution and that growth means that sometimes things will end. Okay, so don't be afraid. You need to know none of us doubt anything we do not have the ability to handle. So it's all in our perception. So mate, I'm telling you, my last 9 year, I also got a payoff. I got a contract with Hay House, and it was the best year of my life. So, you know, the universe knows what it's doing. You know, the rewards are there, as well as the challenges, the rewards are there. And just trust yourself, trust life, and know that what goes up, what goes down will go up again, and you can get through anything. Especially in this month of April, it's important that you understand what I'm saying, and that you really develop that mindset this month of being able to get through anything, and that there are rewards to come. Because the 4 month is about building a solid foundation, and how you're in a 4 month is because April is number 4, and we add our year that we're in to the month that we're looking into to find out what month number it is. So April's a 4 month, and we add 9 to the 4, and that's 13, and 1 and 3 is 4, so it's a 4 month. And so the 4 is about you building fortitude and building a solid foundation within yourself as a human being. And so that means, you know, learning your lessons, becoming a force to be reckoned with, being confident, courageous, understanding what what triggers you, understanding what causes you to lose your shit, understanding what your challenges are and how to overcome them. It's about learning slow and steady wins the race, building a foundation slowly, one step at a time, over time. This month means you have to be patient. Things may not happen as quickly and easily as you would like them to, so be aware there can be obstacles, there can be delays, but there can be some really big solid results you can gain as at the end of it. Know that it can be a very busy month. There can be a lot of work on your plate, whether that work is literally to do with your job and career, or whether that work is to do with, oh my God, it's hard work, meaning the relationships need a bit more effort and hard work, or meaning there's a lot more hard work required of you physically to do things that need to be done around the house or within the business, or there's things that need to be done. So this month it's saying cross your T's, dot your I's, put effort in. Things need to be done, and whatever those things are, whether they are personal, to do with your own personal life, or whether they are in the physical world, whatever, do the work. Do the mahi, we say in New Zealand. Do the work. But know that as a result, by doing the work, there can be some really good things that can come from it. So be patient, tolerant, cross your T's, dot your I's, and be positive more than anything. And I hope you have a fantastic month. And I will say goodbye, and I will be here for you for your May forecast on the 1st of May. So wishing you the very best, and have a fantastic month, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.